Alright, here we are again with the Fanuc 200. This time I programmed it to write some block letters. And we are going to begin this on auto. Yes. Enter. Here we go. Here it goes. Alright, so I know what I did with that P. See how that P has that big open bottom? So that was from using a continuous motion at a fast speed. So the robot did that to go as fast as possible. Now, you know, if this was gluing, it'd probably be fine. If it was a weld, I'd take the time to go back and fix it. But I've been having a lot of problems with this robot today. So, sometimes good enough is the enemy of perfection. At least that T came out nice. So in order to get this to look as nice as it does, and it really doesn't look that nice, I started with a template to get all my points. Went through, collected all the points, captured all the points in the robot, went through and adjusted it. So something I found with this particular bed is that here in the front, it is 4 millimeters higher than it is here in the back. So when I was doing my Z adjustments, this front piece, where the top of these letters, it was all around 276 millimeters. Then when I got to the back there, some of those spots are as low as 280 millimeters. In fact, I think we're going to have a little bit of issue with that M. Yep, I'm going to have a gap in that M because of the speed that the robot wanted to take that little swipe. So, again, perfection's the enemy of good enough, and with the issues I've been having with this robot today, I think I'm going to call it a day. Now, another thing I did in order to help prevent damage to the Sharpie is I built this end effector. It's just made out of 3D printed PLA, and I just made a rudimentary 30, 60, 90 triangle so that way that the robot can come down as straight as it can on all of its axes, and then the marker will sit at kind of a permanent 30 degree in reference to the robot's end effector face. So it allows it to keep this more consistent block lettering. So, like I said, perfect's enemy of good enough. Learned a lot on this. Another example of what happens when you have different speeds going in your program. Start getting a little chunky there. But honestly, I like it. I think it turned out just fine. Give me another day. Probably figure it out. Probably clean it up. Got it figured out. Really don't need to clean it up. And that's the final. That's the robotics final right there.